It's no secret that at the moment the German rail network is not running quite as smoothly as we would all like it to run, with delays and cancellations becoming a lot more common than they used to be. There are a lot of reasons for this, and the German government is working through a very long list of reforms which hopefully will fix the problems. Unfortunately, an important part of that involves a huge amount of construction work, which means that things are going to get worse before they get better. So if you are traveling through Germany by train in the next couple of years, then there's a high chance that you will be late. And so it's worth knowing what you can do if you encounter problems and what your rights are. But first, let's clarify exactly who I'm making this video for. This applies to anyone on long-distance train journeys within Germany. It does not include Flixtrain, which is a completely different operator with its own separate ticketing and pricing system. It applies to Deutsche Bahn, its subsidiaries, and any other operator that uses the same ticketing system as Deutsche Bahn. Trains in Germany are divided into two main types, regional and long distance. If you have booked either a Saver or a Super Saver ticket, then any portions of that journey that use long distance trains are bound to specific trains. So for example, if you've booked a journey on the ICE 623 that leaves at Düsseldorf at 10:02 a.m., then that's the train you have to take. This does not apply to regional trains. You can use any regional train you want on the specified route. And it also doesn't apply if you have bought a flexible fare ticket, which allows you to use any long-distance train on the specified route. Oh, and this, by the way, is separate from seat reservations. In Germany, seat reservations are not mandatory on trains, although they may be mandatory on some international journeys. But otherwise, you can book a specific seat on a specific train if you want to. So let's say you're on a train and you have to make a connection to a long distance train, but the train that you're on is delayed and so you miss your connection. What should you do? In this situation, you are automatically freed from the obligation to use a specific train. So for example, the train that you're on is so late getting into Düsseldorf that the ICE 623 that you booked to Munich has already left. Well, now you can use the next available connection to get you to Munich. In theory, this is automatic. You do not have to do anything, and the guard on the next train should be able to easily verify that the train that you were on before was indeed delayed. However, I have heard stories of guards charging passengers in this situation a penalty fare, which is twice the standard adult fare. And if that happens to you, then you are going to have to pay that penalty fare and then later complain and get a refund. So I recommend getting written confirmation either from the guard on the delayed train, or if you have time, staff at the ticket office at the station. If you have a paper ticket, they can simply endorse that. If you haven't started your journey yet and your first train is delayed or cancelled, then you have the same right to use any reasonable connection. In the case of a delay, that right kicks in as soon as your expected arrival time at your final destination reaches 20 minutes later than advertised. If you find yourself stranded somewhere and there are no more trains that day to get you to your final destination, Deutsche Bahn has to do what it can to get you there. You should first do whatever you can to contact a member of staff to help them arrange that for you, but if that's not possible despite your best efforts, then you can go ahead and book, for example, a coach or a taxi, and then apply for a refund. And Deutsche Bahn will cover the cost of alternative transport up to 120 euros. If there is simply no way you can continue your journey until the following morning, then Deutsche Bahn has to put you up in a hotel. If you cannot find staff to help you with that, then you can go ahead and book a hotel room yourself and then claim a refund later. However, do make sure that it is reasonably priced. You cannot expect to be able to stay in the presidential suite of the most expensive 5-star hotel you can find. Legally, Deutsche Bahn has to give you 3 months to submit your claim, but they do say that they will try to honor claims up to 12 months after the fact. If, due to delays or cancellations, you expect to arrive at your final destination more than 60 minutes late, then you have the following options. You can abandon your journey and return to your starting point and then claim a full refund. You can stay where you are and claim a refund for the part of the journey that you did not take, or you can continue to your final destination and then claim a partial refund. If you arrive at your destination 60 minutes late, then you can get a refund of 25% on your ticket. For a delay of 120 minutes, the refund is 50%. 50%. To claim a refund, you can use an old-fashioned paper form, which you can get from a train guard or from staff at the information desk or the ticket office. Alternatively, of course, you can just do it online. If you're using the DB Navigator app, you need to obviously first make sure that you are logged into your account and then look under My Tickets for the ticket in question. At the bottom of the Journey Planner, open the menu and choose Edit Order. And then on the next screen, scroll down to find Passenger Rights. If you don't see the ticket listed under My Tickets, then open up the settings and make sure that the option to show only valid tickets is unchecked. Now, this information works for the current version of the app as I record this video, but there is a completely new app in development at the moment which should be rolled out next year. So if you're watching this video after 2024, then, well, they are saying that the new app will be a lot easier to use. So best of luck. You can also claim refunds through the website. If you have a Deutsche Bahn account, you can log into that and find your tickets there. If not, then what you need is the relevant tickets booking reference, which is a 6-character alphanumeric code. I've put links in the video description to the pages where you can claim your refund. Refunds are only possible in cases where Deutsche Bahn could reasonably have prevented the problem. So, for example, extreme weather events do not entitle you to a refund. Strike action, however, does, and unfortunately that's likely to be a problem this autumn. But at least now you know what you can do if you have problems. And that means that this is the end of the video, so it just remains for me to say, have a good journey.